Good morning everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. Today I wanted to take you all along on a morning in my life. I woke up a little bit ago, drank a full bottle of water, and I'm about to get ready right now. Grab yourself a cup of coffee if you want to spend the morning with me, and let's get started. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and moisturize my face first. This is the Clinique Moisture Surge. Also, don't pay attention to my nails. My nails are horrendous right now, so I've been spending a lot of quality time with my family, so I haven't really been as active on social media. I'm gonna put on some sunscreen. Of course, this is the Chic sunscreen, SPF 50. I really like it so far because it has a cushion, so I like to press it like that. And then there's a lot of uncertainty right now with whether or not the entire school year is going to be online. As of right now, for what I know from my school, we are doing the first 4 weeks online, and so I've been getting stuff prepared for that. So my eyebrow pomade that I've had for forever is starting to dry out, and what I like to do is I like to put a little bit of oil in it, face oil, and let it kind of do its thing overnight, and then it's like good as new. This is not what I had pictured at all. If you would have told me that this would have happened this way, especially for my first year of teaching last year, I wouldn't have believed you, because I literally thought that we would be in schools getting our classroom set up, and teachers are still, you know, going in and stuff and getting things ready for in-person learning just in case for when the day comes we will be ready. I've been just trying to take it one day at a time because there's a lot of things that are out of my control, and so the more that I stress about it, the less likely that I'm going to feel productive and good about the things that I am doing proactively to make sure that I'm prepared. Budgeting is different for everybody. We are currently living in a recession right now, and it's kind of scary, you know? Like, a lot of things are very uncertain. A lot of people have lost their businesses and jobs, and I feel very fortunate and grateful that I am able to work from home and that I do have a job, but at the same time, like, I can really empathize with the feeling of stress. When it comes to budgeting, I always do it by month, and then I do it bi-weekly. My goal is to continue to increase my different revenues of income, as should you. Like, always strive to not rely on one source of income, because in the event that an emergency happens, girl, you need to be prepared. Every time a new month comes, I always have a set amount of month expenses. Monthly expenses means all of the things that I pay each month to feed my basic needs. Rent, internet, food, transportation. Those are like payments that I must make every single month in order to have my basic needs fulfilled. When it comes to saving money, it's really important to have an emergency fund, and in order to figure out what amount you should have in your emergency fund, it's really up to you, but I've been advised to have at least 3 to 6 months worth of monthly expenses in your emergency fund. In the event that anything happens, let's say you lose your job, your health goes south, something happens with family, like, you just never know. I am not a financial advisor, y'all. Like, I am just one who is living as a post-college student. I say that to say, please make sure that you're being smart about where you're putting your money. If you really don't need those extra pairs of shoes, don't buy them. If you can afford to not have them, don't buy it. You know, that's kind of like my 2 cents right now, and I really do try to put more of my money into more local businesses. Now that I am out of school, I do have to start thinking about paying back my loans. I don't have an exact concrete plan for y'all in what I'm doing about that, but I do know that this month I'm paying off one of my credit cards completely. I have 2 of them, and I'm super excited to pay this one off. I know that, you know, many people are being advised to not pay off debt right now, especially given the recession, but for me, I've been trying to pay off this card for an entire year now, and the reason why I just want to pay it off completely now is so that I don't get hit with interest. After a certain amount of time, your credit card that you signed up for, you're gonna accumulate interest, which means you are paying not only the amount that you owe. So let's say you owe $100 on your credit card, you're actually paying $125. The $25 is the interest, and you don't want to have high interest because that is just a money eater. That's what I've learned so far with debt in general.
Settling in, settling down.
Unless I am truly investing in my education, in my business, or, you know, if it is like a treat, I'm still making sure that what I buy is actually useful, then I feel like it's worth the money. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is different though, so don't take my advice as something that you have to do. This is just what I do in general. It's kind of like my 2 cents on when I'm thinking about buying something new. A couple of savings tips that I like to do. I used to use the envelope system, and in the envelope system I basically had any like tips that I would make from when I was working at the restaurant. I would save it into envelopes and have sinking funds that way, and I would have like different labeled envelopes. So I'd have a grocery one, a traveling one. I would allow treating myself as a part of a sinking fund because I was saving up for like shoes, makeup, you know, things that are gonna keep me sane in this financial journey. To me, it's really important to have a healthier sense of balance, especially when it comes to budgeting, because debt deprivation is a huge thing. If your bank has the ability for you to autosave, that is something that I've been starting to do a lot more now, is when every time I have something inputted into my bank account, I have X amount go straight into my savings. So let's say I get $100, I automatically take $25 from my checking account and it goes straight into my savings account. That's so that way I'm like, money is going in to both avenues, and that way I'm building both at the same time.
Not falling out. I keep on falling.
Let's get started on our bullet journal. This is actually from Walmart. I bought it here. I was looking all over for like a bigger bullet journal and I finally found one. This is a brand called Exceed. This was less than 10 bucks and I bought 2 of them. I'm probably gonna buy a few more. Hopefully this can kind of give you an idea of like what to do for your own planner. First couple of pages I left blank because I wanted to include like quotes and stuff, pictures maybe, so I always like to leave a couple of pages blank before I actually get into planning. So I have just a place for quotes, and then this is going to be my weekly schedule. So over here I have all of the days of the week, and I'm going to be pacing it out by time. It's going to be like a block schedule. I always include these in my planners, in my bullet journals, because I am like a planning queen. Like I need to have everything in place and I need to know exactly what I'm doing routine wise, otherwise I'm just gonna go nuts. The next page I have is the academic year at a glance, so it's kind of like a future log. This is what it looks like. So instead of having like all 12 months, I wanted to leave space for sticky notes. So I'm gonna be using sticky notes for important dates and stuff, that way I can just rip it off. The next page I have is personal absence, and this is what it looks like. Kinda don't really like this layout already. I might switch it up later, but it is what it is for right now, and I don't have a lot of slots because I'm not planning to take a lot of personal absence days, so hopefully I don't need to do that. So I have a section where I can put the date and then my reason for absence, whether I get sick or whatever it is. On the next page I have a section for professional development. In order for me to become a better teacher, if I'm gonna take any extra certifications or anything like that, I'm gonna put it all here. There's a section for the date, a space for the description here, and then the amount of time or hours it took me to complete it. The next page I have is for websites and passwords. So for websites and passwords, because we're doing a lot of virtual learning, I'm gonna have a ton of different logins and stuff for things, so I forget my passwords and stuff a lot, so I'm just gonna try to have it in one thing. I don't know if this is gonna be efficient or not. I also do a lot of things on Google Drive, so a lot of my organizational stuff is also on like spreadsheets. So I'll probably have like both places. A home contact log, so it's gonna be kind of like a record of when I do contact home and what happens in those conversations, just so I kind of remember how I'm communicating with families. And then the next page I'm really excited about because I love celebrating birthdays. So in order for me to do that, I have an entire page dedicated to birthdays. Look how freaking cute, y'all. So I'll be adding everybody's names and stuff, and it says, birthdays are very special days that allow us to celebrate the day you came into our lives. So cute. And then for the next page I have is called Candid Moments. So this is a page I created to kind of keep a record of like things that my students say, good memories, positive things that happen in my teaching experience. And then the next page is actually an idea that I got from another teacher who also bullet journals too, and it's called a teacher dashboard. So this is kind of like my one-stop shop for to-do lists, and basically I have 4 different sections and you can interchange the sticky notes as you go. So I have a section for things to do, a section for copies and supplies that I need to get, calls and emails, and then to grade / to see. So if I need to speak with specific students one-on-one or small groups, then I'll include that here. The next page is called Secure the Bag. It's very, very minimal right now, but I have a space where I'm gonna be writing out my monthly expenses, savings goals. And finally, our next page is my August spread. I had so much trouble like figuring out what exactly I wanted to do, but I know that I wanted to keep it a little more minimal this time.
Each of us both done in the crown, a crown, a crown, a crown, a king and a queen royally bound. Yeah, both called it from the beginning. Called it. We knew that there had to be us. Knew that there had to be us. We do what we gotta do to stay winning.
So here I have like my month spread, which is my intentions, my goals, upcoming dates, as well as upcoming videos that I want to be making. My first intention is remind yourself that you have come a long way. You are capable of figuring things out. You were trained to be in the midst of chaos. My second intention is process your feelings by identifying them and talking through it. And then my last intention is I can say no without feeling guilty, but it starts with me believing that I have the power to say no. A lot of times when I write my intentions, they are inspiration from many therapists that I follow on Instagram. A lot of times like these therapists are posting affirmations, reminders and stuff, and I really love reading things like that because it really resonates with me. A couple of goals that I have this month is to set up my virtual learning classroom and be proud of it. I know it's not gonna be perfect, but I can't strive for perfectionism at this point. There's just no time for that. So just making sure that I like kind of step into my power and just really be confident and remember that I am a learner. I'm not alone in this, and I am gonna do my best, and that's what's most important right now. Coffee break. My second goal is to update all of my online stuff. So especially for Oh It's Angela, we're approaching a new season now, and usually I kind of like to just play around with new ideas and stuff. Okay, the next page I have is called a pacing guide. A pacing guide is basically your cheat sheet for what your month is going to look like content-wise and what you're going to be doing in the classroom. And so this is going to be super duper helpful for me, I think. I have one for like the whole year as well that my partner teacher sent out to me, and it's also really, really great to look at as a reference. I like looking at things in chunks and by month as well. Each column is for a different subject. So I have reading, writing, math, science, social studies, and then the biggest section, which is community building. Any activities that I'm doing, big lessons and units that we're going to be working on this month will be written in here. And then I split it up by week because there's about 5 weeks in August. Let's go ahead and move on to our weekly spreads. My weekly spreads are very, very minimal this time. It's not really like me to not have a lot of color and stuff in it, but it is what it is, and I wanted to make sure that I had space to write what I need to do. So that's what it looks like. I was inspired to do this spread by another bullet journaler on Pinterest. I'll link their information down below.
Fussing on fights will keep them trust, and you make me wanna say I love you better today than yesterday. Every day is gonna play out the same, the same, the same, the same. Hey, I love you better today than yesterday. Every day.
I have each week labeled, and then sometimes I'll include like a little box, and each page is kind of different from its own. So I'll have either something at the beginning of the week where I'm doing weekly reminders, affirmations, quotes, highlights of the week. I just tried to make sure that I have enough space for everything. And then at the end of the month, I also have an August recap page. All of these are blank right now, but I'll probably have like good moments, questions for next month, things that I loved about this month, so specific products that I'm using, books that I'm reading, and yeah, that's my journal. Thank you so much for sticking to the end. If you did, August is gonna be a full throttle like mess, and I'm mentally prepared for it. Let us know what your intentions are for this month. Thank you all so much, and I will chat with you all very, very soon. Bye!